Hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome back to Wakefulness Theology. My name is Messenger Paula, and this is actually part two. Well, this is my series, The Secret Meeting Place, and this is actually part two of understanding the timeline. So I put that up last week. I hope you guys saw that. If you didn't see that, I highly suggest you do go back and see that first, because I don't know if you'll be able to understand this part without seeing the first part. In the last part, we were doing a comparison between Revelation, the hidden timeline, and Revelation 12, and I went through and explained that. And now what I want to do is do a back-to-back with John 21. Now, it's very difficult to do because, as I was saying, I was expecting to do a comparison with the technology timeline, and then last night Yahushua just was like, oh no baby girl, that's not what we're doing, and he gave me this hidden timeline. So I did not have the time to organize everything well. I'm going on vacation on Thursday in Mallorca, Spain. It's an island, and I know if I don't do this, then I'm not going to have any peace. So I'm just showing you the dots, and hopefully you can put these pieces together for yourself until I have time to come back and be clearer. So let's give this a try. Okay guys, so don't worry, I know it looks like a lot, but I will try to make sense of it all. I'm going to take my picture down so you can see better. So right here, what it is the hidden Bible timelines. So here I just wrote a short synopsis of what it is. This is the letter line that represents that year for me. This is the verse that goes along with this timeline. On this side, I put the technology advances and predictions according to year, all right? And I put the Revelation 12 verse, okay? So pretty much what we have here. This side is the Yahushua side, okay? This is the truth, this is the way, this is the life, this is what we're supposed to be doing, okay? Representing this, okay, so this is pi, P-I, and this is A-I. Okay, and we talked about AI being the false messenger, the false, the idol shepherd, and all of that. Okay, this is Satan's side. Okay, this is death. This is lies. I hope that is clear. And this, I put a line in between, and the timing is April to April. Okay, so 2012. Let's read it to do the comparison. John 21:12. Jesus saith unto them, Come and dine. And none of the disciples durst ask him, Who art thou? Knowing that it was the Lord. Revelation 12:1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. So what I'm proposing is that this John 21 is just when Jesus appeared to the apostles and he collected them. And this is also when the great wonder appeared in heaven. So we have in common the fact that in 12 Jesus appeared, and then 1 the sign appeared. And what I am proposing to you is that the 12 stars represents the disciples. Okay, now that is of course found in scripture. I don't have time here to go and show you that, but I believe that if you study the scriptures, you already know that the disciples represent the 12 stars. So guys, that is a match. Let's continue. Okay guys, so for 2013 it's the same thing. We have Jesus then cometh and taketh bread and giveth them, and fish likewise. And then in Revelation 12:2, you have, and she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pained to be delivered. So here, when you say delivered, it's like if you want your pizza delivered, what happens? The pizza guy comes and he gives you a pizza. So to be delivered means to give, okay? So that they have those in common. And then what are they delivering? The woman is delivering a baby. Well, soon, not here in this verse yet, but that is the idea. And Jesus gave them fish. So what I am proposing, I want to show you later in the other verses, what actually the baby is representing. And here we can see that in one side it's representing fish. Okay, so what does fish mean? We're talking about being fishermen of men, right? So fish represents men, right? Not human men, mankind, people. So in my humble opinion, this is a match for 2013. I know some of them are really obvious. Some of them might feel like a stretch, but the thing is that they all line up. And so just stick with me and you'll see the really obvious ones very soon. John 14:21. Now this is the third time that Jesus showed himself to his disciples after that he was risen from the dead. And here, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 horns and blah, blah, blah. You can read for yourself. So here you have the dragon appeared. And here you have Yahushua appeared. Do you understand? Do you see? It lines up, y'all. And I showed you in the last video how I got that this was for 2014. I showed you. Here in my timeline, right here, it's talking about rearing up. So when you rear up, it's like a horse that gets on its back legs. You appear, you rear up, you rear your head, you show yourself. So in the pie side, Yahushua's side, the good side, it's talking about Jesus showing himself. In my timeline, this is symbolic of us being called into service, represented by 777 or 1111, and seeing your birthday 111, and seeing your birthday numbers or other repeated numbers. So numbers are spiritually called holy letters, as in pi, Exodus 3:14, and it is a manifestation of holy Yahushua appearing to us and calling our spiritual names. So the Father gives his directives to rear up and to manifest into the immortal human. We are called into service. So this happened to me in 2014. This letter line I got was written in my letter lines, and it directly reflects the Bible verse. John 21:14 actually represents 2014. Okay, so what, again, I'm giving you the micro and the macro. So that was 2014. This here is, I just tried to put the technology that was happening at that time, because I told you guys at first I thought that was what it was about, and then Yahushua showed me the Revelation timeline. So pretty much Revelation 12:13. Then another sign appeared in heaven, an enormous red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns on his head. So that matches. Appeared, Jesus appeared to Jesus appeared, Satan appeared, and we appeared. All right, 2014. As far as the advances, the technology advances, it's not that the technology is dangerous by itself. It's that the people who are creating this technology are evil. Okay, they might not be evil themselves. They might just be pawns, but they serve Satan. Okay, and they are, whether they know they are or not, they are creating the beast system, and they are creating an evil. They're about to create the kingdom of darkness here on earth and evil, so that they can bring Satan back, just like in Lord of the Rings. So let's go on. 2015. This is my synopsis. So you gain knowledge. Well, let's do it like we did the last time, because that worked. So when they had dined, Jesus saith to Peter, Peter, Simon, son of Janus, lovest thou me more than these? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my lambs. Now, the Revelation verse that matches that is, its tail swept a third of the stars out of the sky and flung them to earth. The dragon stood in front of the woman who was about to give birth so that it might devour her child the moment it was born. So her child, and what does this say? Son of Janus. Son, child, son. Okay, so guys, look at this. So when they had dined, right here. So when they had dined, direct connection that he is waiting to devour her child. And then Simon, son of Janus, devour her child after they had dined. You think that's a coincidence? I'm gonna tell you right now, you can go back and look at my video as proof. I have a playlist about the hidden timeline in John 21 right here, and I explain at the beginning of those videos that Yahushua came to me in a dream, and he told me specifically that the opposite of feed my sheep is eat my sheep. He told me that, and I said that a long time ago in those videos. And here it is, literally the opposite. This is pi, this is AI, this is feed my sheep. Jesus dined with the son of Janus and told him to feed his sheep. And on the AI sign, the dragon comes to eat the son of Janus. Do you understand? It's right here. It's right here. And it's also reflected in my new stream. This is like a synopsis of what is written here. You gain knowledge and understanding of hidden spiritual things. You are given more. You apply it in excess. You do all you can to lead people to Yahushua. And in the Bible verse and TV show, you have a sacred responsibility. You are being fed to feed his sheep. Okay, so that's what this side represents. And then on this side, you have the technology. And then this is the year that Google officially became Alphabet in October 2015. And I explain in another video how wicked it is that they took the word alphabet, because Yahushua is the word. John 1:1. The Father's name is Pi. Okay, I've explained this before in other videos. Go back and look at that. The language, alphabet, Hebrew, Greek, are alphanumeric. It is an alphanumeric language. His name is Pi. He is the Alpha, alphabet, Alpha, and the Omega, the beginning and the end. A-E-I-O-U. Yah, why? Yahushua. A-I-O-U, Yahushua. Those vowels, those letters are holy. He is the holy, living letters of creation. So when they took the alphabet, it is another attempt of Satan trying to usurp the place of God. Right under our nose and laughing at our ignorance. Okay? This is wicked, and this is an abomination. Okay? When Google officially became Alphabet, and it happened when? It happened in 2015. So the point is that the year before, Jesus appeared, Satan appeared, we appeared. Okay? And now he is doing everything in this year 2015 to stop us, because the Most High Father put us here to bring down the authorities. We don't have to do anything to bring down the authorities. We just have to be us. Okay, let the Father light shine through us, and to not go along with their plans. And that's enough to stop them, actually, because it's very, very simple. If we don't go along with the plan, then the plan doesn't happen. You know, it's just that everybody is going along with the plan. So they hate us. And I talk about that in Know Thy Enemy. They hate us, and they need to get rid of us. It's very simple. And that's what it's saying right here on the AI side. Okay? And that's what all of this stuff you see here is to get rid of us. Or you also have the fact that in 2019, the 400-year curse is over. Now, the 400-year curse is for the Hebrews. And that specifically affects the tribe of Judah that was sold into slavery, okay? And that curse is over in 2019. And so they need to try to figure out how to re-enslave us as quickly as possible into another way. And their answer is technology. So the sooner they can get you in these goggles and in, to create the double U and to steal your soul and eat it up, the happier they will be. So that's what all of this is about, right? It's a spiritual war. It is Satan trying to devour the child. So 2016, we have right here, he saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, loveth thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep. So the verse, Revelation 12:5, that goes with that is, she gave birth to a son, a male child, to a son again. When they're talking about the sign of Revelation 12 in 2017 is Jupiter, it's written right here, she gave birth to a son, not a Jupiter. She gave birth to a son, a male child, who will rule the nations with an iron scepter. And her child was snatched up to God and to his throne. And it's funny because I know you guys were wondering, why did he call him son of Jonas? And right here it makes sense. It says she gave birth to a son, a man-child. And that's why 2,000 years ago, Yahushua made sure to put the word son of Jonas in there, because not necessary. It's not necessary. He didn't need to say that. This is Jesus. This is Yahushua talking in his multi-dimensional speak. Now, if you go back and look at the hidden timeline of this, where I break it down, we talk about that all the time. He's talking in his multi-dimensional speak, y'all. He is so awesome. We serve an awesome God. That's why he says son of Jonas here. It's right here. Because it's the man-child. It represents the man-child. So what's happening in 2016? You gather together a mixed assemblage of people. You have been appointed as an apostle to our Lord and Savior and given the duty of the Great Commission. You gather together, so I think it repeats. So that's a synopsis of what I wrote here. And again, I'm going to come back and try to make all of this clearer. It's just for time's sake, I can't do it right now. So that's exactly what happened to me in 2016. He said, on this side, on the pie side, we have been fed, and now in 2016, this is when I started my ministry, and you should be doing something as well. Whatever it is, we need to be feeding as sheep. That's what we're supposed to be doing on the pie side. Now on the AI side, which is the idol shepherd side, the Prince of Persia side, this is what they were busy doing, and that's just some of the stuff. I'm not going to take the time in this video to deal with that. Okay, so this is 2017. This is where we are now. Let's look at the verses, because the verses are just killing me. This is like, wow. So John 21:17, he saith unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Jesus saith unto him, feed my sheep. And as I said, when I actually did the Bible verse, Yahushua is not joking. If you are 144,000, if you are if you are in the 5 groups of the bridal army, that is your only concern right now, is to be feeding his sheep. That he couldn't be more clear about that. If you are not feeding his sheep, something ain't right. You need to pray on that. This is mandatory. This is not optional. This is not a suggestion. This is what you need to be doing. You have to be doing if you're going to be on this side. Okay. So let's look at the Revelation verse that matches that. The woman fled into the wilderness to a place prepared for her by God, where she might be taken care of for 1,260 days. So now this one was less obvious, but what I noticed was that he said the third time. The third time. And it's like, why? Why did he say it 3 times? And right here, we should know that 1,203 score days, three, 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 the third time. That's why he said 3, because it's representing 3 years. Times, and time and a half equals 3.5 years. She will be in the wilderness for 3.5 years. That is specifically why it represents the 3 times and a half. Time and a half. 3 times. It's a direct connection for the time. Now, I talked about it in the other video about in 2017 that what this represents is exactly like when God told me that I'm to write every day into destruction. For this 3.5 years, starting now from 2017, from the probably from the eclipse, but let's just say the 23rd, September 23rd sign, we have to be feeding as sheep for the next 3.5 years. So everything around us is going to be we're going to be fine. We're going to be in this place, and that's what this whole series is about, is what is the true meeting place. And it's like Yahushua came to me and he said, Vini Vini means you are welcome. Those who hear my voice and follow my commands, the door is open unto you. That is what he told me. It's in the Bible as well, and so that is now. If you are able to hear his voice and you follow his commands, you will be safe. It is inside of us. It's a spiritual maturity that we've gained over this time. And it's just the same sensation of like the Lord of the Rings when Bilbo Baggins puts on that ring and then he goes into that other dimension. It's the same kind of feeling. Everything will be falling apart around us for the next 3.5 years, but we are going to be on the green grass like in that sister from South Africa's dream. Go back and look at those videos if you need to. And we're going to be feeding his sheep, those who are in the dirty water, those who do not pass and go home to heaven, but the ones who stay and they come and join us on the grass. This is what I've been preaching on for the past, I don't know how many months. And the false meeting place is this AI side right here, and that is everything that you're reading in this explanation of the predictions of technology. So it's very, very simple. You know where you are. Are you on this side or are you on this side? This is PI and this is AI. This is life, this is death. This is Yahushua and this is Satan. And again, not because technology by itself is bad, because it's being run by Satan. Please forgive me. This is really not easy to explain, and I have to go quickly. So I don't know if I was clear. I would just like to summarize really quickly the idea that as far as the Revelation verse is concerned here, right now in 2017, we are in the wilderness. The woman is in the wilderness already in 2017, right now. Okay, so that means we are protected and we will be protected up to do our ministry and feed the sheep up until I think in the last video we did it went up until like March 2021 or something like that. So this is the time to feed the sheep. We will be protected in the wilderness for that time. Now here what you see on the screen is a video that Sister Kim sent me, 2 videos actually. Thank you, Sister Kim. You are indeed helping me. And I don't know how many sheep you're feeding, but you are definitely feeding this particular sheep myself. So thank you for sending that. And in this video, the brother or sister pretty much says exactly what I'm saying. They had a vision. Please go and watch the video. It's not long. They had a vision, and in general, it has to do with fire in the ocean. Baywatch how they were saying that the code 1073 means fire in the water. Now 1073 is with the letter line 144. So that directly matches up with all of our dreams that we've been having and the timeline and everything. We've come to the conclusion that the dominoes are falling to lead to some kind of event happening, and the event has to do with fire in the ocean. Relation to each other. So this is going to prove the fire on the water, which is exactly what we're going through right now with the floods and with the fires. And we'll continue, because this is the catalyst of us getting out of here. Okay, this is what I want to show you guys. Look, watch. Position over. Gringa, my position is the ocean. Estúpida, no siento mi cara. Okay, call Coast Guard. We got a 1073. I'm going to take the wave runner. You and CJ take rescue one. Go, go, go. 1073. Wait, what are we doing? So, what's a 1073? Fire. Fire? What does that mean? In the ocean? You need to start studying. Yeah, I know. Got it. I'm there. Where a large group of us will be going home. So in this video, this person is saying that that is the rapture, okay? And you can see in the picture the souls going to heaven, and the ones that are staying are the ones that are left behind, okay? And now in this other video, this brother here, he mentions that the Revelation, I don't know if he said the Revelation 12 sign or the eclipse, but one of them he is saying is the sign of Jonah. So I thought that that was a confirmation, because that's exactly what the verses are saying here. He's calling him, Jesus is calling him Simon, son of Jonas. And as we are trying to relate it to the Revelation 12 sign, that is a direct confirmation, if in fact it is true that the sign, like I said, either the Revelation 12 sign or the eclipse, if that is indeed the sign of Jonah, then there you go, it's confirmation. What else can I add here? I don't have time to do it in this video, but I would like to come back and talk about what it means to be left behind, because I think that there's some thought that is incorrect there. I don't have the time to go into it, but I think the way that we've been led, what we've been led to believe up until now, and what is actually going to happen is not the same things, and we need to talk about that, but just not in this video. So the synopsis of these lines here: the laity model. So Know Thy Enemy is the episode in Troll Hunters. Like I said, if it's difficult for you to understand how the spiritual flowery, because the language is prophetic. So sometimes it's difficult to translate prophetic language to your real life, how that looks in real life. And in Troll Hunters, it's an entertaining way of seeing how it happens in real life. Now, of course, the Troll Hunters are still fictional, but it might be easier for some people to translate and relate to more so than prophetic language. So that's why that's here. That's the episode of Troll Hunters that directly correlates to 2017. It directly correlates to the Bible verses and to my letters news stream. So the laity model themselves after Yahushua and are obedient to him. They have insight on current events and know what is about to happen. They render their services by giving spiritual nutrition to others, by revealing secrets as messengers of the Most High Father. And that's what I'm doing right now. These are secrets. These are hidden information that the Lord Yahushua has taught me. And I'm sharing that with you and feeding the sheep. And this is what we are to be doing right now if you are on the Pi Yahushua side. Okay? So if you are not doing that, then I suggest as soon as you finish this video, you start whatever it is that the Lord is having you do. You need to be doing that, and like pronto. Okay? So 2018, again, this is the AI side. So let's just go directly to the verse, because I'm loving this. This is just woo. Verily, verily, I say unto thee, this is John 21:18. When thou wast young, thou girdest thyself and walketh whither thou wouldest. But when thou shalt be old, thou shalt stretch forth thy hands, and another shall gird thee and carry thee whither thou wouldest not. So then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. Satan being kicked out of heaven, right? Because here is talking about, you could do what you want, and then when you're old, someone is going to grab you and take you to where you don't want to go. And then the verse right here is literally talking about war broke out in heaven, and the angels fought against the dragon. So I don't think that's what the dragon wanted, right? He's about to get thrown down. So here, as far as the synopsis of this, by compulsion, you are forced into other revelations from the Holy Spirit within you. You are not serving yourself but others when you speak of the things told to you by the Holy Spirit. From 2018 to 2020, persecution begins and the evil red rises. The ministers are separated out from the world. So it reflects directly the same point, guys. In 2018, it's kind of like what's happening now. I'm not doing this to serve myself. I'm not doing this because it's fun. Actually, I am having fun because this is miraculous that this is true. But that's not why I'm doing it. And so in 2018, it's going to be even more so that the Holy Spirit is going to be pushing us through compulsion, forcing us, causing us to do things in service for others, right? And not ourselves. So 2019, this spake he, signifying by what death he should glorify God. And when he had spoken this, he saith unto him, follow me. So again, this is the 2019 verse. That's why I said that it seems like there's a build-up to something happening in 2019. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The death, and then he lost his place in heaven. So it's a death when you got kicked out of heaven, right? He lost the war, he died. So that matches. And then on our side, win, lose, or draw, see how that matches up? The good, the angels win, Satan loses, and they get, it's right here, man. That's the Troll Hunters verse, the Troll Hunters episode. You wander and wash away negativity and get renewal in life. It is the separation of fleshly beings and those people who will go where the spirit of life dwells. A group of brothers and sisters represented by draw return home to heaven because God's going to trouble the water. This is wade in the water again. So yeah, he's going to trouble the water. That's when they have the war, and that's when Satan loses the war. I mean, I don't know. Is that not clear to you guys? This is the technology that's going on then. 2020 here. Then Peter, turning about, seeth the disciple whom Jesus loved following, which also leaned on his breast at supper and said, Lord, which is he that betrayeth thee? So the Bible verse, the Revelation verse that goes with that is Revelation 9. So the great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil or Satan that leads the whole world astray. He hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. So that's right here when he says, which is he that betrayeth thee? It's Satan. Do you guys not see how that? It's like question and answer. It directly corresponds. So this is the timeline. 2020 is when Satan is hurled down to earth. Okay? And that's why I said whoever is the president at that time is the Prince of Persia. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everything matches up. Right here, this is the Troll Hunters episode. So you are hated and persecuted like Job of the Bible because you communicate as it is written. You persevere and keep the faith in all trial. This is the great disturbance of the evil red rising, the saints going up to the rooftops and the evil structure being built. This is when the evil starts, right here. because Satan is thrown down. Guys, the letter lines confirm this Bible verse, and this is the timeline that confirms this, the Revelation 9 verse. Do you not see that? And this is all the technology. So I don't have time to analyze the technology, but I'm sure if we did, you're going to see the progression that's in the spiritual world is directly reflected with the progression in the technology. 2021. John 20:21 represents 2021. Okay. Peter, seeing him, saith to Jesus, Lord, and what shall this man do? The Bible verse is Revelation 12:10. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven say, now have come the salvation and the power and the kingdom of our God and the authority of his Messiah. For the accuser of our brothers and sisters, who accuses them before our God day and night, has been hurled down. So you can see, he says, what shall this man do? And that's what he shall do. He shall accuse us before God day and night. Guys, all I'm going to say is the Holy Spirit told me not to say what I wanted to say. So all I can say is our only goal right now, if you are a disciple of Yeshua Hamashiach, is to bring as many people to the kingdom as you possibly can. Be fishermen of men. And be feeding his sheep. That is the only thing you have to do. You don't have to pay your taxes. You don't have to pay your house notes. You don't have to go to work. You don't have to, none of those things. Everything is secondary. This is your first mission. Urgent. Between 2017 and 2021, time is so short. Once the Prince of Persia shows up, the persecution is on. Now we can do it freely. Now we have the ring. He gave me the ring, guys. Now we have the ring that we can be in the secret place and we're going to be safe and we can work in peace, right? As I explained before, if you have, if I'm in the hurricane, there's no water, there's no electricity, there's no computer. You're lucky if you have a pencil and paper. So the fact that he told me to write everything down every day into destruction means that I'm going to be cool going into destruction, because you can't do the work that I'm doing if you don't have electricity. Right? So we are called to be workers of the harvest. And if you are a harvest worker, you are going to be okay. But you got to do the work publicly. I have a Facebook group. I have a page as well, Wakefulness Theology. Go there and join the group, and let's have these discussions in public with other people. Okay? So the adventures in troll hunting, this is the episode. The elect are re-crucified, meaning total sacrifice of yourself for the benefit of others. The society is filled with those who live like animals and are wicked. You are unwilling to be handed over to the Prince of Persia, the unfavorable ruler of God's people. And there you go. So the saints are protected through calamity, destruction, and oppression. God's refining fire. It is the pre-harvest. I put that, but... Okay, so that's what this reflects. What shall he do? We're going to be persecuted, and he's going to be accusing us. And this is the work that we have to do. As far as the technology, I'll put this on the screen. You can see the predictions of what's going to be going on, because this is how they plan on enslaving us, okay, or stopping us or catching us or whatever, right? 2022. Jesus saith unto him, If I will that he tarry till I come, what is it to thee? Thou follow me. So that relates to Revelation 12:11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they did not love their lives to death. Boom chakalaka. He says that Satan will be here, right? And he's going to allow it. He's going to allow Satan to be here until he comes. It's right here. But that is not your concern. Your concern is to follow him. And so directly in the verse, Revelation 11, it's talking about the fact that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the testimony. And we did not love our lives unto death. That is directly what that means to follow him. It's right there. So as far as the pie side, we're supposed to unveil and uncover. Well, this is Bittersweet 16. That's the Troll Hunters episode. You unveil and uncover calamity, destruction, and oppression, but you persevere and by faith in all persecutions and trials, and you endure in the time the beast evil red rises. The saints will refine God. The saints will God's refining fire and be. So we will go through His refining fire and be rewarded. It's not written very well, but I think you understand. The saints will survive the saints will survive God's refining fire and be rewarded for their good works. So that's what that means right here. Follow me, and that's what the verse Revelation 12:11 means. The same thing. And as far as the AI side, what will be happening is the total power of all computers is comparable to the total brain power of the human race. So this is Satan's brain right here, the global brain. It's getting strength and power. It's getting stronger, just like Lord of the Rings. And that's why on the last video of this series, I'm going to try to put everything together, and it's just going to, I hope it blows your mind, because my mind is blown. I mean, I can't even talk about it right now. It's just amazing. We'll do that in the next video. So John 21:23, which represents 2023, then went this saying abroad among the brethren, that disciple should not die. Yet Jesus said not unto him, he shall not die, but if I will that he tarry till I come, what is it to thee? So it's Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you, having great wrath, because he knows that his time is short, that he has a short time. So this is a direct quote, because it's saying that Satan knows that he has just a short time, and then Jesus is saying that if it is his will that Satan stays until he comes, then, you know, that's what it is. And then it doesn't say that you will not die, and that's a direct reflection here to therefore woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you with great wrath. And he did not say that you will not die, but that he will allow him to be here for a short time until he comes, and to follow him. And there you go. He has come down for a short time with wrath. It lines up. You are a winner. So this is young Atlas. You are a winner. You have perception. You stand against and oppose the evil ones. This is connected to CERN, OneWeb, and the Oculus technology. So this is what we are opposing. You participate in harvesting others who are the seed of promise for the kingdom, redemption, and release from captivity. This is the disciple which testifieth of these things and wrote these things, and we know that his testimony is true. So the verse that relates to that is Revelation 13. Now when the dragon saw that he had been cast to the earth, he persecuted the woman who gave birth to the man-child. So that's 2024. A recipe for disaster is the Troll Hunters series. So you show proof of hidden things, which is a wake-up call to make other people feel the urgency and scare people away from being lazy. This is represented by 222555. Your work is still to be established, but it is completed, and the rulers are in wrath against you. The church is now pure. Our duties have been completed. We have done our writings. The church is pure. Okay, like Jesus. So on this side, pretty much we've done the work that we're supposed to do. Apparently, we're supposed to be writing things, so things would have been written by that time. And that's the testimony of the things that we've witnessed and gone through, I guess, the truth, the hidden things that we've been preaching on. On the AI side, it's funny because I didn't do this on purpose, but the one technology prediction is language translation machines are now routinely used in conversation. Isn't that funny? Because here we're talking specifically about the writing and the communications, and here the technology is reflecting that. So on the AI side, the verse we're talking about is that the dragon has been cast down to earth and he's persecuting the woman who has given birth. Okay, which directly relates to right here the fact that we have done the work, and that's what I said before, the work, the ministry, and the harvest of that ministry is the man child, and from what I understand. So 2025, let's see. And there are also many other things which Jesus did, the which, if they should be written, everyone, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written. So let's compare that with Revelation 14. But the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness to her place where she is nourished for a time, times, and half a time from the presence of the serpent. So here, Claire in present danger is the episode. You have completed your duty, which is your works and your responsibility as a disciple of Lord Yahushua. You jump for joy and celebration, which is coming from our Father in heaven. You are a saint who has helped the unification. Okay, so that's pretty clear. So we've done what we had to do here. Jesus did what he had to do here. And then as far as the Revelation verse 14, the woman has done what she had to do, and she went into the wilderness because now she can go into the wilderness to be nourished away from the serpent. Okay, so there must be a difference between the wilderness that we are experiencing in 2017 and the wilderness as we will experience in 2025. So that's another 3.5 years that goes by from 2025, 26, 27, 28 and a half. So yeah, that's another process, but it makes sense. This is like talking about the completion of our work. This is talking about the completion of our work. And then the Revelation 14 verse is talking about the completion of a work and going on to the next chapter, right? Here, this is on the AI side, and you have all the technology. So in general, creative AI is more capable of making complex art and music. The majority of VR revenue will be from social experiences. AR experiences are synced with TV, will be a thing at all levels in education. Augmented reality lectures will be popular by 2025. There will be no more corded VR systems. That's virtual reality. And then the goal is not to be able to distinguish between reality and virtual reality. Pretty much by 2025, majority of people are going to be living in a virtual reality most of the time, or augmented reality. And augmented reality is when you have your cell phone, and let's say at like Pokemon Go, you look and you see things in reality that are not there without the phone, right? So that's when, the same time that on the Pi side, we will be finished our work, and we will be going into the meeting place with Yahushua in the wilderness to be nourished. The people on the artificial side, the AI side, will be doing the same thing, but going into virtual reality or augmented reality to be eaten. Their souls will be eaten. So it matches, guys. Here, 13:26. So now we go to Numbers because that's the end of John 21. And so then later, Holy Yeshua showed me the hidden timeline in Numbers, and that's in a playlist. You can look at it there. I go all into explaining how that happened, and I break it down more specifically. But it turns out that the Numbers 13:26 is a continuation of the John 21 timeline. Okay, so they came back to Moses and Aaron and the whole Israelite community at Kadesh in the desert of Paran, and there they reported to them and the whole assembly and showed them the fruit of the land. So the serpent spewed water out of his mouth like a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away by the flood. Here, but I can just say you speak forward, straightforward truth, but not merely truth as spoken, but truth of idea, reality, sincerity, moral sphere, divine truth revealed to man by their consent to habitation. Habitation is a place where you accept to go, or a thing you consent to do by faith. It is where you go, where you are following the master with no information on where, why, or how, but knowing the way is filled with dangers, and the only hope is to get rid of everything except faith and follow the Messiah. Your habitation situation is rare and precious, and you are blameless. There is a brother or fellow tribesman or leader leader is more and more evil in excess. So this is the synopsis from the letter line, and that directly correlates to being in the wilderness. 2027, the Numbers verse is here. And they told him and said, we came into the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it flows with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. So okay, so as far as this verse, these two verses for 2027, we can see that in the Numbers verse, we are talking about the earth. So we're talking about the flowing of the milk and honey and the fruit of the land, the richness, the ripeness, the goodness of the land that will feed us and nourish us and sustain us. And then in the Revelation verse, you have the same thing. It's talking about the earth helping the woman, and as we said at this point, representing the disciples, the people who are doing the work at that time. So it is indeed a match, my friends. It's very funny as far as technology. Humans began to develop deep relationships with AI. Here, 20 that dwell with the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. The first verse in Numbers is talking about the children of Anak, and that is, of course, the fallen angels, or the Nephilim, or the children of the Nephilim and fallen angels. And then in the Revelation verse, we're talking about the remnant of the woman's seed. So that is, of course, the people who have come to the kingdom through the testimony of the disciples and the work, the fish that have been caught by the fishermen of men, right? And so at this time, we're going to have one or the other. Either you're going to be a child of Anak, or you're going to be a remnant of the seed, her seed. And that's what it is. It's a connection, direct connection. There you go. There is a postponement. This is mudslinging is the name of the troll hunter. There is a postponement and delay as large numbers of people find out there is deceit concerning the gathering spot for spiritual Israel, but the truth is written on our hearts. So, and as far as technology is concerned, advancing brain mapping leads to hundreds of distinct sub-regions in the brain being identified. That's the end. There is no more. There you go. And as far as the technology is concerned, VR glasses and headphones are replaced with computer implants. So this is when they're going all out. Now it's written 2099 here, but don't be fooled by that. The timeline has moved up. They want like complete transhumanism by 2045. Okay, transhumanism is pretty much when you have cyborgs. Humans are going to be completely joined with robots. So you're talking about, well, you have augmented humans, like you see on TV, cyborgs. That's what they want by 2045. The AI to be humans and the humans to be, AI. So if they want that by 2045, you do not have to wait until 2099 for a lot of this stuff to happen. But this is what is written. Artificial intelligence claims to be conscious and openly petition for recognition of this fact. Nanomachines are directly inserted into the brain to control incoming and outgoing signals. Mind uploading becomes successful and perfected, and humans become software based. By the 2040s, people spend most of their time in full immersion in virtual reality. Non-biological intelligence is now billions of times more capable than biological intelligence. Okay, and as far as the Bible verse that goes with that, and they brought up an evil report to the land which they had searched into the children of Israel, saying that the land through which we have gone to search it is the land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof, and all the people that we saw in it were men of great stature. And there we saw the giants, the son of Anak, which come of the giants, which we were in our own sight like grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. So I explained this in depth in the playlist that deals with this timeline, but in general, pretty much you can replace the son of Anak and all of that stuff with this technology. Okay, because this technology is meant to eat us up, eat our souls. It is the embodiment of Satan on earth. And so this is what we are fighting against. Okay, it's right here. It's written right here. It falls right in the timeline. 12, 32, 33. And I told you guys about the 133 and 331. We've talked about that a lot. I'll put it up here up on the screen again. Talking about the Prince of Persia. It's a great warning, and this is what we're going to be fighting against since this first domino just fell during the eclipse, and we're going to be fighting this all the way up until 2033. So that means March 2033. And then after that, I don't know what happens, but they're going to be establishing their kingdom and stuff until 2035, and then after that it's on like a marathon. But I pray that it was clear, and I pray that you can see. I'm not trying to get you to believe anything. I'm just trying to show you how the pieces of the puzzles fit together. I'm trying to show you the dots, and you can connect the dots for yourself. Okay, and I will come back later and try to write it better and try to make it clearer, but it's just very difficult, as you can see. Okay, you don't have to believe me, you don't have to understand what I showed you, but this is going to happen. Okay, so please be aware of that, and share this information with your friends and family, especially for your children and your grandchildren. This is important that they know that this is not innocent that is coming up. This is made to re-enslave us and to kill us and to eat our souls. Okay, so this is important. So I hope that was clear. That was understanding the timeline. And so now for the last video of this part, I'm going to try to summarize everything, put it together, and use the Legends episode where they just do it for me, actually. So that's going to be the last video of the series. I can't wait because I'm very tired of this, but it's very important because right now apparently we are in Revelation. In 2017 we are in the part where the woman goes to the wilderness, and I've been preaching on that all this time, and I didn't know that that's exactly where we are in the timeline. So we need to learn, we need to know how to go there and be there to be safe and protected with Yahushua while Luke is happening, right? And we got 3.5 years, brothers and sisters, of this work before the Prince of Persia shows up. So let's get it done. No more privacy. You need to come out of the woodwork. You don't have to be online, but you got to be doing something in public that is feeding his sheep. All right, brothers and sisters, I love you. I hope this was good. I hope this was spiritual nourishment for your soul. I pray that you're well. Thank you, Holy Father, for this message. Thank you for showing me and giving me this information. Thank you for allowing me to share with my brothers and sisters. I hope that it is helpful for them, Holy Father. I pray that this is uplifting your name and glorifying your name. May this be in your name for your glory and for your honor. We love you so very much. In Yeshua Hamashiach's holy name we pray. Amen. Brothers and sisters, have a good day. Shalom.